Hello, welcome to the live stream. Rob the Maritimer here. Let's see now. Yeah. How's everybody doing? This is my second live stream in as many days. So hopefully that's not too much for you guys. Sorry, I'm just trying to close something here. Don't change. Okay, so so this is the Thanksgiving Day special for all of the Americans out there. Again, my name is Rob. I'm in Canada, so it's not actually Thanksgiving Day for us here. Our Thanksgiving was a little more than a month ago, and I mean, I don't know the exact history, but basically in Canada, we're a little farther north than the USA, and because of that, our harvest back in the day happened earlier than it does for you in the States, if you're in the States. And so we had our harvest and Thanksgiving dinner in early October, whereas down in the States, you have it towards the end of November today. Ours happens to be on a Monday, and the U.S. Thanksgiving is on a Thursday, and again, it's today. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. But it is a special day for us here in Canada as well, and that is because, or us that are football fans, like myself, because there's football on TV all day long. And my beloved Detroit Lions are on in about a half an hour, I think, or maybe an hour or so. So that's what's up with the sweater, and I got my helmet here that I got many years ago. Actually, it's my wife's helmet, but it's my shirt. Yeah, go Lions. Anyway, so yeah, here we are again. So I don't anticipate this live stream being all that long. I just thought I'd come on again, and I'm going to try to do this more often than I have in the past, and just make myself available for any questions that you might have. And I see that there are a few questions already, so let's just jump into the chat here. Still trying to get used to this. Hello, Francesco. My question is about Camtasia. How would you add audio effects to one's voice, like reverb, or say making one's voice muffled to mimic old-time radio audio quality? I hope this makes sense. Thanks for the question, Francesco. Yes, it makes sense. So there's two ways to go about this, or actually not two ways. There's two different scenarios. So doing it live would be totally different than doing it in post or editing it afterwards. You've mentioned you want to do it in Camtasia, so that would suggest to me that you're talking about editing a video and you want to modify your voice. There's probably ways to do that in Camtasia and their new Audiate software that integrates with Camtasia. I don't actually use that myself, but I do modify my voice for my videos. So the way I do it is with software, external software. So I use Adobe Audition. That's the audio editing software that you get in Adobe Suite. There's other programs you can use. Adobe Audition is something you have to pay for. I believe there's one called, what's it called? Audacity is a popular one, and I think that is free, so you might want to check that out, Audacity, if you want to edit your voice afterwards, after you've done the recording and you want to make yourself sound different. Now, with Audacity being paid, it may not have as many controls as Adobe Audition would, but there would be some control, some way to modify your voice. So, and there's probably lots of other different software out there that you can use to edit your voice. So the way I would do it, if I were making a Camtasia video, I would make my recording. You can record it in Camtasia if you want, or you can record it externally. I usually record my voice external. When I say externally, outside of Camtasia. I will capture my screen with Camtasia, but I will have Adobe Audition running in the background, capturing my audio as well, recording it. And then, but even if you don't use Audition, after you've done your recording in Camtasia, you can export just the audio track of your voice, and then you can import that into whatever software you want to use to edit it. I don't have to do that extra step of exporting because I've already captured it in Audition. And then I will open it up in Audition, I'll save it, and then I will start making the changes. So there's a number of different things you can do, and there are countless videos on YouTube that will teach you how to do these things. One YouTube channel I highly recommend, and I'm going to go to it here in a second. The guy's name is Russell. He's, I believe, an audio engineer. Let me see if I can find him. No, it's not Russell Brand. Russell Voice Editing. Am I going to find it that way? Yep, here he is. Mike Russell. Sorry, his name is Mike Russell. So this is his channel. Let me just make this bigger for you here. Right here. So this is his channel on YouTube, and he has a ton of great videos on how to edit your voice. You can make it sound any way you want to. So you can make it sound like an old-time DJ voice if you want. Or what I do is I use Adobe Audition, and the only changes I make to my voice, well, there's a few things. I make it sound, excuse me, richer. So I play with the equalization. So increase the bass, increase the treble. I do a little bit of denoising, take some of the background noise out. I remove some clicks that often happen in my voiceovers, like just clicks, like throaty click sounds that. And it depends on your voice. Everybody's voice is different. Everybody's voice has certain things about it that you may want to correct or change. Some people already have a naturally bassy voice, so they don't want to add bass. Maybe they want to boost the highs, the treble side of the equalizer. So you can do all of that, and there's also compression that you can do. You can change. So if you get really loud. If there are loud moments in your recording, but also soft moments, you can equalize that, balance it out. So all kinds of things you can do with that. Once you make the edits to your voice in Audition or Audacity or Audiate with Camtasia, whatever you're going to use, you can then export your changes and then re-import that into Camtasia. And you'll just have to sync it up with the audio that you had in there before. Yeah, so that's what I would do if you're recording or if you're editing a video. If you're doing it live, then that's a whole different story. There's two ways I know about. One way is to use what's called a DBX 286S. So that's like a live audio processor. I've got one here. I can show it to you. My phone. So here, if you can see that there, that gray thing is, see that? DBX 286S, I believe. So that thing right there is a live audio processor. It has all those things I was talking about. Equalizer, noise gate, compression. It's got all that, and you can do that on the fly. And I used to do that. I'm not doing that right now, but I used to. I actually had some problems with that. I haven't been able to get that to work. I also haven't looked at it in about 6 months, so that's on me. Let's turn that off there. Yeah, so that's one way. Another way is if you're going live, if you're using OBS Studio to go live, which I am now, and I'm just getting into OBS, I've just only recently started to learn how to use that. I know there are some audio plugins you can use to modify your voice live. So anyways, that was a very long-winded answer to your question, so hopefully that helps. I'm a big fan of editing it in post. Editing your audio in post. I do that again with all of my videos that I make. And when I say there's a whole bunch of different steps that I go through, there really isn't, because with Adobe Audition, it has the ability to make macros. So I've created a macro which goes through a whole bunch of, I think there's 5 or 6 different things that are done to my voice audio track, and they do it with one click. I don't remember exactly how I set it up. And in fact, when I look at the macro that I created, it's called Rob's Voice 2021. So I did that over 2 years ago is when I made that. And I followed a YouTube video on how to make that, and didn't follow it exact, did some things a little bit differently for my voice and based on what I wanted it to sound like. So it's just after I make my recording, I do that one click, and that runs through its thing, and in a few seconds, the voice is changed. I export it, import it back into Camtasia. That's how I do it. So I hope that helped. Wow, okay, we got some more questions here. Awesome. Thank you guys for stopping in. This is great. I got some more viewers this time than yesterday, so that's awesome. Maybe it's because I'm kind of playing around with how often or how soon do I put up, do I schedule a live stream if I'm going to have one. I knew I was going to have another one today, so as soon as yesterday's finished, I started today's. I scheduled it. And then I didn't actually modify the thumbnail for today's live stream until about 30 minutes before I went live. I added the turkey and the, where is that here? Right here. You can see that I used Camtasia to add, a turkey and a football to the live stream. So anyways, just something a little fun. And I did that because I went out for a run this morning. I was out getting some exercise, and I realized, I was trying to go through my mind, what am I going to go through when I go on this live stream today? And then it hit me. It's U.S. Thanksgiving. Like, everybody in the U.S., which is probably 90% of my viewers and people who watch my videos, 90% are in the U.S. and they're probably with family, and they're off work today. They're probably not in front of their computer, or maybe you are. But it's Thanksgiving. You're supposed to be watching football and eating turkey and being with family. So anyways, so I decided to throw this little football and Thanksgiving angle on it. So hopefully that's appreciated by somebody. Okay, what's next in the chat here? Francesco says, it's great to catch you live. Thank you. Yeah, great. It's great to be live again. As I said yesterday, it's been 18 months since I've used to go live once a week back in the first half of 2022, and then life just kind of got in the way, and I haven't done it for a while, but I'd like to get back into doing this and making this more of my routine. My plan is to go live a couple times a week, maybe 3 times a week, something like that, but not for hours at a time. So that is the plan. Joe Dearman, go Lions. I hope you're also a Lions fan, or are you just saying that for my benefit? Either way, I 100% agree. Go Lions. They're having a great year today, or this year, and it's been many, 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 many years. I've been a fan since I met my wife, because she was a fan already. I was always an NFL fan, but when we met in the late 90s, she was a Detroit Lion fan. I became one because I didn't really have a team at the time, and we went to a few games. And fast forward, it's been 25, 6, 7 years now of horrible Detroit Lion football for the most part, but this year could be their year. Okay, what's next here? Adam Roll, hello, I see you're live now. I just left a comment about how you record VO and go through menu options. Left a comment, so how would I find that now? You're testing me. I don't see any comments on, I'm not sure where to look for that. Just left a comment about how you record VO and go through menu options. Okay, well, I'm not sure what you mean by go through menu options. How I record VO, voiceover. So again, voiceover is a little bit different than going live. So right now, I'm live, and I'm using a microphone that is up here. You can see that right there, right? So here I am, and here is the microphone. Can you see that? It's right above my head. And that is what I use for going live. Oh, you can see it if I leave the phone right there. You can see, I use this going live, and I also use it for my voiceovers. I did a lot of research on what microphones to use for voiceover, and this is actually not the first one I bought. The first one I bought is now being used by my son Liam, who also live streams, and it's a perfectly good mic. I just didn't like the big bulky microphone in front. I suppose I could have put it up here, but it's what was it called? The Rode NT1A or something like that. It was a great mic. It's just that it captured noise from all around, whereas this one is a shotgun mic, and it only really captures what's directly in front of it. It won't capture things over here. So if I'm over here, you probably can't hear me as well as you can if I'm right in front of the microphone. I won't talk too loud when I'm this close. But over here, you can't really hear me as well. So microphones, shotgun microphones like this, the ones that are long and skinny, only pick up what's right in front. So when I do a voiceover, I bring this mic much closer to my mouth. I put this pop filter on it. Okay, so that when the mic is really close to your mouth, if like when you're making a P sound, like P sound, you're forcing a lot of air out, and that could cause static or clipping, or I believe the term they use is plosives. The plosives in your voice. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but anyways, that will really be picked up by a microphone. So a pop filter like this, or sometimes you see they're like flat and there's like a mesh over them, and they put them right in front of the microphone. That stops a lot of the plosives from getting in. So that's one trick. Also, when I bring this microphone down, so I'm going to put this out of place. I've got this on an arm where I can move it around. I generally put it, I'm going to turn this mic, the gain down a bit, so because it's closer to me. I don't want to blow your ears out. I will put this on like that. Okay, and then I put it close to my mouth. I actually don't talk right into it like this. I set it off to the side a little bit. I don't get right beside it, but so the front of it is in line with my mouth, but if I am speaking this way, then any of those plosives or breathy outbursts that come from my mouth won't go directly into the mic. So that will result in a better sounding voice. So I do my recordings like this, and I will have a script up here. Turn my gain back up. I will have a script on my computer. There. Let's put this back in place. A script on my computer that I will read from with that microphone right in. Is that right? There. Okay. Just out of frame. Yep, that's the look I was going for. So yeah, I've got a script on my screen. And I will record my voiceover like that. And then, while I'm recording it, and when I say record, I will open up Adobe Audition, have that running on another monitor, or the same monitor beside my script, and I will click record in that software, and it records my voice. And then I will run it through the steps I was talking about that will what I call process my voice. So it'll add the noise gate, it'll add compression, it will boost the highs and lows, and just make it sound a little bit better than it would had I not done that. And then I import that into the editing software that I'm using, whether it's Camtasia or DaVinci Resolve. So that's how I do my voiceovers. Same microphone. You don't have to use a shotgun mic. I like, and this isn't actually one of the more I mean, it was kind of expensive. The shotgun mic that a lot of people use is the Sennheiser MK. I'm going to get this wrong. 401 or something like that. Not sure what that's called, but it's Sennheiser. The one I bought was about half the price of that, still several $100s, and it was the Synco D2, Mic D2, Synco Mic D2, Synco, is the one that I use, and I think it sounds great. And what you want to remember too, when you do your voiceovers, or if you're looking for a mic, you want to take a few things into account. So I don't record in a vocal booth. I record here at my desk. I have a few things in the room to try to eliminate reverb. That's actually the most important thing when you're doing a voiceover. You have to do it in a room where there's not much reverb. Call it a sound-treated room or whatever. Some people record in their closets because there's a whole bunch of hanging clothes, and if they can get themselves right inside a closet and record in there, you'll notice much higher quality recordings when you do it that way. Since I don't really have that, this is kind of a bigger room. It's not that big. It's 10 feet wide by maybe 14 feet, but it's a 9-foot ceiling, and I don't have any treatment up there. That's one thing I do plan on adding. But the more treatment you can put into your room, the better it will be able to handle reverb. So that's one thing to keep an eye open for, or one thing to be mindful of. Anyways, I hope that answered your question. I was kind of talking in circles there, but hopefully that answered your question. Let me just get back to the other questions here. So we have next Samaran Sumrith. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Samaran. Samaran says, I use Audacity with FFmpeg library, so it can import .trec file from Camtasia. I modify my audio with Audacity and export to WAV files. I import the WAV file to Camtasia and replace the old audio from the trec file. Perfect, great. I'm not exactly so I have not used Audacity, but I know it's a popular one. So that's great that you use that, and you must have some luck with that. With FFmpeg library, I'm not too sure what that is. Sounds like it might be an add-on that you can add to Audacity, so that it can import trec files. So yeah, if you can import trec file from Camtasia, that eliminates a step. That eliminates you having to export the audio from Camtasia. So that's a help. And then once you've done with your editing, and then you import it back into Camtasia and replace the old audio. So yeah, no, that's very similar to what I do. I just use a different software program. I use Adobe Audition instead. But again, there's probably a dozen or more different pieces of software you could use for this. Okay, so thank you for that. Francesco, thank you. This is gold. Well, you're welcome. Hope I can be of some help. Francesco then says, thank you. You're also awesome. Oh, to the chat. Yes, great. Yes, that is helpful. So I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't consider myself an expert in any of this stuff. I didn't go to school for any of this stuff. I'm kind of self-taught. It's what I'm interested in. So I'm always learning on YouTube, Google, whatever. So there's going to be things, there's definitely a lot of things I don't know. So if I'm not answering, typically when I give you an answer, it's what I do. But I fully understand, I'm fully aware that there are other ways to do things and probably better ways to do things. So when other people in the chat can chime in and give their take on how they do things, excuse me, that's great. That's really helpful, and that's what this is all about. So I agree. Thank you. Pamela Powers, go Niners. Okay. I'd actually love to see a game in San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco a couple times, but never to see a football game. My brother-in-law is a big Niners fan, though. He's in Toronto. I don't know why he picked the Niners, but anyways, I'll give you that. Go Niners. I believe, Pamela, you are in California, so I can understand you wanting to cheer for them. So yeah, go Niners until they meet Detroit in the playoffs. Then go Lions. Adam Roll says, do you pre-record VO and then listen to it while going through website menu options? Do you pre-record VO and then listen to it while going through website menus options? Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. So I think what you're referring to is when I make a video and there is voiceover and screen recordings together in the video. And it's interesting that you ask this because there's different ways to do this. So the answer to your question is yes, I do pre-record voiceover sometimes. So a video I just recently made, let me just bring this up here. I don't know if it was the Canva one. So I made 2 videos within the last 2 weeks. One was about Camtasia Rev, and the other one was about Canva, one of which I edited and created the video in Camtasia, and the other one I created in DaVinci Resolve. Not sure if you could tell which is which. I suppose if you really looked, you might be able to tell. See, I'm just going to go to my channel here. Okay, so if I go to my channel, my videos, let me just take a quick look at this one. So yeah, this one, this Canva one, I made that in DaVinci Resolve. And I think you're referring to like these areas here. So to answer your question, yes, I recorded the voiceover separately. Usually when I make a video tutorial that includes my voice, and if I'm not on screen at all, so when I'm making a video for clients, I will always record the voiceover track first without doing any screen recordings. So I will create the script, or sometimes the client sends me the script. Then I will record it. But when I'm creating the script, I'm generally following some instructions that the client gave me. So I will have a good idea as to what I'll be clicking and when and the order I do things. And I have to write notes as I do it just to keep things straight in my head. But I will record the voiceover. And then I will lay that track down. I'll start building my Camtasia project or DaVinci Resolve, whatever I'm using. Let's talk about Camtasia here. I'll lay the voiceover track down right after the intro, and I've laid the music track down. I put the voiceover on top of it. Then I start with the screen recordings. And that way I can sync the screen captures perfectly with the voiceover. Sometimes that means so I will collect the screen recordings in sections. It might be easier for me to show you this. Let me launch Camtasia. Is it launched? Bear with me here, just trying to bring up Camtasia. Says it's open, but I don't see it anywhere. Okay, let me quit. And I will start it again. Sorry, just bear with me 1 second here. Here we go. Okay, I hear audio through my headphones. What is playing here? Is the audio sounding okay? You know what? That's probably just the delay. It's my voice and it's just the delay, so that's fine. Here we go. Here is a Camtasia project. Now I'm going to change the screen here so you can see this a little bit better. Let me just resize this a little bit. Okay, so this is Camtasia. Let me just fill the screen here. Fit to screen, sorry. This is Camtasia, and this is the project. This is the video that I made for Camtasia Rev. Okay, I made this video in Camtasia. And if I zoom out to see the entire project, you can see how long it is here. The whole project is just under 10 minutes, 9:38. And if I zoom into, say, the beginning, you'll see there are audio tracks here on track 3 as well as track 2. So some of these, so this part here, you can see I'm on screen at the same time, right? This part here, I'm not. Okay? That is a voiceover. And if you look at the file name, that'll actually give it away a bit. Here, can I zoom in to show you this? Recording for voiceover only processed. So when I saved the audio track, I called it recording for voiceover only. And then I save another copy of it with a dash processed at the end of the file name, and then I run it through my processes that add the bass and take the noise out and add compression and all that. And the reason I do that, so I save 2 copies of all my voiceover files. And the reason I do that is because if I ever want to go back and edit something I've already recorded, I edit the unprocessed version first, and then I reprocess that edit, if that makes sense. So that's just something that I do. Now, if I were to go over here, these clips here, sorry, I'm just getting used to this zoom feature here. Let me know what you think of it, but I think it could be very handy. So yeah, these ones I was on screen. So let me just double click here to see what's in the group. So in the group we have a recording and the voice. Okay. Yeah, so a video like this took me a long time to make because in this case, I identified which parts I was going to be on screen for and which parts I wasn't. And when I was not going to be on screen, that's when I did the voiceover. So in this part here, I added some so this was the last part here that I was speaking on screen, and then I had a little animation, screenshot, some sound effects, then a transition, and then this is what I would call B-roll. I'm speaking, but I'm not speaking on camera, okay? So I did the voiceover, and then I laid this B-roll clip. I set my iPhone up on my tripod behind me, and I recorded myself doing a little bit of work. That's how I made that little clip here, and then I added a slow zoom to it. And then we come back to this part where I recorded myself in Camtasia. And then, now in this case, both these sections were me on screen. So if I hide this track, you'll be able to see that. See, I was on screen, but I decided in the edit, so you know what? I don't need to be on screen for that entire length of time, so I'm going to add more B-roll on top of that. So you can always do that. I mean, the quicker way to do it might be just to do the entire script with you on screen and use a teleprompter if you need to. I use one. I have a teleprompter set up right here. It's right over top of my camera right now. And I can show you that. There. I am looking, that's my camera right there behind the teleprompter. So I can look in the camera and actually read what's on, and actually read what is on the teleprompter. And what I reflect up into the teleprompter is I use an app called Prompt Smart, and I put it on my phone, and I put my phone right there on the teleprompter. So anyway, I digress. So in this case, a quick way would be to record the entire script of your video with you on screen, and then you can decide later if you want to cover any of that up with B-roll. That's no problem at all. But so there's so many different ways you can make a video, and I still kind of struggle with the best way. I don't know what the best way is yet for me. Everybody has their little things. For me, I don't consider myself that comfortable just speaking to a camera. This feels a little bit different. These live streams, I've done them several times now, so I'm getting somewhat comfortable with it. But there are things that I do. If I'm just looking at a camera, I have a hard time. Like when I know nobody's on the other end of the camera, when I'm making a video, I have a hard time just speaking authentically to that camera, if that makes sense. In this case, there are several people here watching the live stream, so I know when I'm looking in here, in my mind, I'm picturing that I'm looking at several people, and that may make it easier for you. It may make it harder for some people. I'm not sure. But for me, I like to do my voiceover separate and then lay the B-roll on top. Now, with this video in particular, since a lot of it was going to be basically a tutorial walkthrough of Camtasia Rev, this new feature that Camtasia has, I knew there was going to be a lot of basically screen casting involved. I did not do any of it live, so I added it all in as B-roll afterwards. But that's really up to you how you want to do that. And I may do some more of it. That it would certainly be quicker if I could just run through a video tutorial live like that. I mean, I'm kind of doing it now, but I don't know if you've noticed this about me, but I could tend to get off on tangents and start talking about other things. That wouldn't necessarily play well for a pre-recorded video that you're going to upload to YouTube. For YouTube videos, to keep people engaged, you kind of need to be harder hitting. And I'm not like that when I talk naturally or authentically, if that makes sense. So I tend to edit my videos to tighten them up, remove all the ums and ahs that I would otherwise say. Yeah, so that's how I do it. And let me know if you want to see more of how I made this video or any of my other videos, because it's all here in Camtasia. And you can see I bounce around between just voiceover and then me on screen. Lots of zooms. I'm starting to add more sound effects to my videos, which I think really help. And then, yeah, so if I zoom right out here to look at the whole project on a whole, you can see, so I've got the music track along the bottom, and actually you can see that I could not find a music track that was over 9 minutes long. So the one that I chose, I had to copy and paste it several times. And when I do that, I zoom right into that location. So I'll come down here. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Yeah. And then I use the zoom on the timeline function, and I try to match the beat up so it sounds okay. I don't know if I'm actually not even listening to that, but you can tell me if that sounded okay. If you need help when you're matching up the beats of the music, one trick is to hide the track above, or basically mute it or silence it, and then play it back and you're only listening to the music track. Okay, that helps. So anyway, yeah, that is that. Let me get back into the chat here. Hopefully that answered your question. Next up is, get back to the chat window here. Liam Moore says, LOL, love the jersey. So for those of you who don't know, that's my son. Thank you, Liam. He's not so much a Detroit Lions fan, not so much a football fan at all, actually. But he knows I love the Lions, and his mother does too. So thank you, bud. Adam Roll, or do it live while recording. Okay, so this is a continuation of what you asked before about the voiceover. So yeah, just not to repeat myself too much, but you can do it either way. I add my screencasting later. Do my voiceover first, add the screencasting later. And I find that results in a much tighter, better flowing video. And since you have control in Camtasia over duration of, like you can either speed up or slow down any of your recordings, screencastings that you do, you can make it match. Or there may be times, there's a lot of times when I'm making a video tutorial where it involves filling out a lot of fields in a form. Okay, well, generally, if you're talking through, click this, now go to this page, now fill out this form. Well, you may get to a point where, okay, now there's like 10 fields that have to be filled out in this form. You don't want there just to be a stop in the voiceover while that happens, right? So that's an example of one place where you might want to speed that up. Or another thing I do is you can start it at a good speed and then cut out the middle part and have it automatically all filled in and just show, so you just show the starting of filling in the first field and the ending of filling in the last field, and then put those two clips together, add a fade transition, and that's another nice way to keep the video moving and not have too much space between ending one sentence in the voiceover and starting the next one. Yeah, so that's another trick that I use. Okay, so I hope that helped. Francesco says the zoom feature you are using is very helpful. Thank you. Cool. Great. I think what you're referring to is when I'm zooming in to my screen like this, and then of course I can go to the full screen of that.
So I have not used Audacity, but
yeah, I love that. And I'm just getting used to it. Basically, it's a feature on a Mac. I'm streaming on a Mac. I'm running all of this on my MacBook. All you have to do is hold down the Alt key and use the scroll wheel on your mouse. And that scroll in, scroll out. Yeah, and I'm finding that super helpful. So I'm glad you like it. I like it too. Oh, the other thing that I can do, can I show you this? Yeah, so another thing about the Mac, and shout out again to my son Liam, who kind of steered me in the direction of going to a Mac. He just graduated with, well, over a year ago, a computer science degree. So he knows about all this stuff. But on a Mac, another thing, on the trackpad, the 3-finger swipe between desktops is also awesome. So if my mouse is here, let's go full screen. If my mouse is here on this monitor, I can go up to my trackpad on the Mac and 3-finger swipe left or right. I can go between desktops that I can set up ahead of time. So I'm kind of excited about that because with this view here, what I envision being able to do is, I mean, I could have something running on this screen while I'm chatting like this. I could show a logo. Maybe I'm talking about Camtasia. I can have the Camtasia logo show up here on the screen. Or have a little video running. Maybe a future sponsor of one of my videos, I could have their logo up there. I also plan on adding a screen like that for my side screen over here, like down this side. Maybe I can put on that screen and have a window over there that shows what I'm talking about, maybe a list of topics, and I can check them off as I go through them. That might be another way to make these live streams go smoother. So anyways, yeah, thanks. I like that zoom feature as well. Let's get back to that. Okay, next up we've got Adam Roll again. For example, on the Glass Co. website, you're not talking or recording while showing the railing configurator. Thank you. Very helpful. Yes, so that's exactly right. So you're referring to one of my, that was a client job that I did. I can actually bring it up right here. A copy of it that I saved in the Rev video that I made. So yeah, this window right here.
Through website menu
options. I'm going to have to remove.
Do pre-record video and
there. So yeah, this as you can see here. On the timeline, I have, so here's my music track, and then
think what
my
you're
voiceover
referring
track
to
is right
is
here
when
above
I
it,
make a video,
and I usually put
and
the
there is
intro
voiceover
track
and
on
screen
the
recordings
same,
together in
sorry,
a
the
video.
intro
Um,
on the same
and it's
track
interesting that
as
you
the
asked this
voiceover.
because
It's
there's
just something
different
I
ways
do.
to
It's
do
probably
this. So
not the right way to do it, but
the answer to your
it's my
question
way.
is yes. I do
And
record
then,
voiceover
so yeah, you can see the
sometimes.
voiceover. I did that all in one
A
take.
video I just
And then
recently
the screen
let me just
captures
bring
are
this
all
up
here,
here.
and they're cut up every so often because once I lay down the screen recordings, I then have to make adjustments to make it match as best as I can to make it match the voiceover. Sometimes that means speeding up, or sometimes it means slowing down the screen recordings that I've done. And if we look up near the top here, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 screen recordings that went into making this video. Okay, so I probably have 20 or more cuts in here, but there are 5 different screen recordings in there. And then you can see here, here's an example of an area where I wanted to delay the voice, right? So something must have happened that I wanted the clip above to play out before I started talking again. As we can see, that clip I had sped up to 1.88 times. Let's see, what was this one here? 1 time, so that wasn't sped up at all. This one here, 2 times. So I did kind of speed that up, but I still felt like I needed to add a space in the audio.
If I'm not on screen at all,
If all
so
looks
when I'm
good.
making a video for clients, I will always record the voiceover track first, without doing any screen recordings. So
Scroll down and
Okay, incidentally, so what are we? How far are we into this? About 40 minutes in. I just realized I had the audio on my live stream. The YouTube was open, so hopefully you guys weren't hearing that. I'm not sure. I don't think you were, but maybe you were. If so, I apologize. Something I forgot to mute. So anyways, now I just want to put these on so I can hear this particular job here. Let's play this.
if all looks good, scroll down and click Continue. Click this arrow to show the plan
Just keep
full
playing
screen.
this.
Then you can click the individual spans to see their details. Scrolling down.
So yeah, it's just a matter of when I went through the video, when I was finished with it, I wanted to make it flow well. So sometimes that means adding spaces between when I end a sentence and start the next one, and so on. When I'm doing the voiceover in the beginning, I don't always necessarily know when I need to space things out, so I don't worry about it too much. I just get the voice recording. And actually, it's funny, and I'm going to do that in a future live stream like this. I'm going to actually walk you through while I do a voiceover, and then you can see what's involved. Because again, so this video is, what is this? Like a 2-minute video? Yeah, about a 2-minute video. It probably was closer to 5 minutes of audio recording for me to get this 2 minutes of audio. So I make mistakes all the time, or I just don't like the way it sounds, or I trip over a word, or I don't say it right. I just keep the recording going and I say it again. I'll go back to the beginning of a sentence and I'll say it again. And then once I've recorded it, I then go back and edit out the bad ones, and I leave about a 1 second or half a second space between each sentence, whatever, depending on the video. And then, I finish the voiceover, and then I process it and make it sound better before I export it as a WAV file and then import it into Camtasia. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Now, what do we have next? Just getting through these here. Once again, thank you guys for stopping by today. Looks like we're having a great turnout. It was better than yesterday. Well, yesterday was my first one in a long time. Today is live stream number 2. So once again, thank you all for coming out. We're just going through a live chat session here, so I'll just continue on. The next one is BTA Info says, "Hi, You, thanks only those you are from America, but I am from Pakistan and watch your tutorials. That's great. Watching the tutorials from Pakistan. That is awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, just for clarity's sake, I'm actually not in America, but I did wish my American friends a happy Thanksgiving at the start of this live stream. I'm in Canada, just north of the U.S., and we share a passion for football. Not all of us Canadians, but I certainly do. They play lots of football on TV on Thanksgiving. So, and that's what I'm going to be doing when this is over, by the way. I'm going to go upstairs and watch the Lions hopefully win. Next up, Pamela Powers says, I asked TechSmith and didn't get a good answer. When I group things and then elongate the one group, what's in the group? Only some of them elongate and some don't, and I have to go in and fix. That sounds, that's kind of complicated. I'm not exactly sure. So when you mention group, I don't use group a lot. The only time I typically do use the group function is if I find I'm stacking too many tracks together and it's just getting out of hand, and I want to take a bunch that were for one specific thing. Let's say it's a little animation that has several sound effects or several titles coming in on screen. I'll often group them all together. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to answer your question, but let me just try to, when I group things and then elongate the one group, what's in the group? Only some of them elongate. I think I understand. I guess it depends on what you group. Some things can't be elongated. So if you happen to group something in there that cannot be elongated, then it won't work. So let's say, for example, you had a screen recording that was 5 seconds long, and you grouped it in with some on-screen shapes and text. Shapes and text, obviously, they can be elongated or made to be shorter or very easily. But a 5-second video clip, let's say you made it shorter. If you then go try to make it longer, it'll stop at 5 seconds. You didn't record any more than that, so it won't be able to be elongated further. The same would apply to voiceover files. So if you have a voiceover in that group, it can't be elongated because it's a fixed time. If you want to elongate a screen recording that's part of a group, I think what I would do is I would ungroup it first, and the way to elongate that would be to change its duration. So you can right-click, and I can show you just real quickly here. I'll just take your message off the screen and zoom in here. If you, okay, this looks kind of blurry now. What am I doing wrong? Okay, yeah, no, I was doing the wrong thing. So here we go. If I zoom in here, so this clip here, for example, if I click this, wait, now let me just stretch this out first. There we go. Now if I zoom in, we can see this is already at 1.81 clip speed. If you right click it, you can click on, where is it here? Oh, of course, I can't add the clip speed because it's already here. So the way to adjust this would be you'd have to grab this timer here at the end, and then you can change it. Notice how when I'm dragging this, the clip speed number is changing. So if I drag it shorter, the clip speed number is going to increase because it's going to have to happen faster. So that would be the only way to elongate. So you can go the other way too. So if I drag this up to the next track, click on this, and if this arrow is not here for you, you would just right click and then select click duration, and then it's there for you. And then you click to expand it, and then you'll have this little timer here, and now you can click there and drag it, and that will basically slow it down and make it happen over a longer period of time. Okay, so that would be so because of that extra step involved in stretching out a screen recording, I can see why it would not
it would not stretch out with other things inside a group. Okay, not sure if that answers your question, but hopefully that helps. Okay, what's next? BTA Info, I have a question. And then he posted, as you do video editing in Camtasia, which one is the best, Premiere Pro or Camtasia? They're different. They're used for different things. And I would add in DaVinci Resolve to that. Camtasia, okay, so they're both, Premiere Pro and Camtasia are both video editors, but Camtasia is a screen recorder. It was actually a screen recorder first. I mean, I don't know all of the history perfectly, but I've used Camtasia for, it's got to be going on 10 years now, 8 to 10 years maybe, and it started out as a screen recording tool, and over time they've added video editing features. So if you record your screen, now you're going to want to edit it. And instead of having to export it and go over to a video editing software like Premiere Pro, be nice if you could do it right inside Camtasia. So now you can, and every year Camtasia adds more and more useful video editing tools. So having said that, let me just continue that thought. So Camtasia is a screen recorder as well as a video editor. Premiere Pro is a video editor only. It doesn't have screen recording capabilities. So if you're trying to decide which software to use, I guess the first thing you have to decide is, what are you going to be using them for? What kind of videos are you going to be making? If most of your videos are screen recording videos, and if they're relatively short, then I'd just go with Camtasia. There's no need for Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro would be much more powerful, if that's the right word. You can do more things. It's more on the professional end of video editing software. However, it's also harder to learn. That's what I found anyways. Now, I may not have given it a fair enough shake, because I came from Camtasia. My background is not video editing. I'm actually a mechanical engineer, but I gave that up and I went into business for myself, and I got into web hosting, designing some websites, and then making video tutorials for companies. And fast forward to today, that's kind of what my focus was, making video tutorials, which was always screen recordings. So that's where I kind of got into Camtasia. So I was a screen recorder and video tutorial maker first, long before I'd consider myself a video editor. So having said that, that's perhaps why Premiere Pro for me was very difficult. I found it very difficult to learn. So again, it depends what you want to do. If you want to get into editing cinematic style videos that involve maybe not so much screen recordings, but more raw videos that you take with your camera, or that you get from stock footage libraries, and you want to put them together, and if you want to color grade them, add more complex effects, then you're getting into Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve. I keep mentioning DaVinci Resolve because it's what I use as well as Camtasia, and I use it for the longer, more complicated 4K type videos. It is also more powerful than Camtasia, but it, again, is also not a screen recorder. So if you're going to use a Premiere Pro or a DaVinci Resolve or even a Final Cut Pro, some of the higher end video editing softwares, and if you want to add screen recordings to those videos that you make, then you're going to need to find another way to capture your screen. One way is with OBS. So I mentioned that the last two videos I made, the Camtasia Rev video I made with Camtasia, but the Canva video I made with DaVinci Resolve. There were also lots of screen captures in the Canva video that I made in DaVinci Resolve, but I used OBS to capture those screens. So it's whatever your preference is. That video I also made in 4K, excuse me, whereas the Camtasia video I made at 1080p, 1920 by 1080. So that sometimes will make a difference. Camtasia, awesome. I don't see myself not using it. I'm going to be using it well into the future because it just makes making quick video tutorial style videos a breeze, especially with this new Camtasia Rev feature that they have that I made that video on. Creating a circle mask for your face and have it on screen at the same time as your screen recording. It's just a couple clicks once you're finished with your recording, and it's kind of done for you. So if you're good at being able to talk relatively well throughout a video tutorial, like maybe you're making a presentation or something, going through a slideshow or what have you, capture yourself with Camtasia and see how it works. Maybe you don't need to do a whole lot of editing to it. And with Camtasia Rev and making a couple clicks there to choose the look that you want, you could be done pretty quickly. So it all depends on what you want to do. Okay, Adam Roll says, perfect, thank you. I'm a new fan. I'm here in Michigan. Awesome, Michigan. I'm not in Michigan, but I'm wearing a Detroit Lions shirt. Go Lions. Welcome from Michigan. BTA Info says, can Camtasia work on Android phone? If yes, please guide. Not that I'm aware of. I don't have an Android phone. I use an iPhone. So, and I don't believe there's an iPhone version of Camtasia. I don't think there's an Android version of Camtasia either. It's available for Windows or for Mac. If I'm wrong and somebody knows otherwise, let me know. Feel free to chime in here. But now, you can record yourself on your Android phone, just use your phone as your camera and your microphone, and you can record yourself. And then when you save that as an MP4 video, then you can import that into Camtasia and edit it. That's no problem. You can also do screen captures on your phone. If you want to make a video in Camtasia that includes the screen of your phone. For maybe you want to make a video tutorial on a certain app, an Android app on your Android phone. You can, as long as you can record your screen and the things that you do on the screen, you can then bring that into Camtasia and edit it. You can even add some finger gestures to show that you've, what you're pressing on your phone and whatnot. So you can do that. You just can't run Camtasia on the phone itself, if that makes sense. So maybe I misunderstood your question, but hopefully that answers. Adam S., I just noticed you're on. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm thankful for Rob, even though he's Canadian. Haha. Thank you. Thank you for stopping in, Adam. That's great. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody as well, even from us in Canada. So that's great. It's great to see you back. Thanks for stopping in. And then Adam says, can you talk about your DaVinci journey? How tough was it to learn, and how long did it take you to feel comfortable? It's still a work in progress. I first got DaVinci Resolve, I'm going to say not even a year ago. I'm going to say last March of 2022. I downloaded the free version. There is a free version, which is awesome. It does pretty much everything that the paid version does. I actually can't remember why I upgraded to paid, but I did. I know what it was. They added the auto subtitling feature, where it will basically analyze your video and create the subtitles for you like that, like in a few clicks. That's only available on the paid version. So as soon as they added that, I got the paid version. But there are some other things that you can do as well in the paid version. It has a neural engine, I believe. Anyways, the journey is ongoing because it is a much more involved piece of software than Camtasia. It doesn't do the screen recordings, but again, like I said, you can do your screen recordings in OBS. capture your whole screen. And then in DaVinci Resolve, you can do all the zoom ins and zoom outs and add, highlights and boxes around things and add arrows and all that stuff. Some of that is easier, I'll admit, in Camtasia, because even to animate a scene, like to punch in and animate your talking head type videos, it is dead easy in Camtasia. You drop an animation arrow on and you stretch it out and you set the beginning and the end, and that's it. And easy to move that around as well. Whereas in DaVinci Resolve, it works a little bit more like Premiere Pro does, and that's you're getting into keyframing and things like that. Much more powerful. I mean, you can, instead of having a couple choices like you do in Camtasia for how the animation looks, like auto, ease in, ease out, or spring, or bounce, or any of those things, with DaVinci Resolve, you can make it do whatever. You can have it punch in and zoom in and out slowly, like in quickly, out slowly a little bit, and you can have it moving around, and there's just a whole lot more you can do, but it's harder to do, if that makes sense. There are some extensions you can add and some plugins that you can add to make some of those things easier, but the journey is still ongoing. Again, I right now I'm using DaVinci Resolve for most of the subtitle work I do through Fiverr, and also a lot of the captioning type work, like making reels. Sometimes clients will have me take their long form video and then make 4 or 5 reels, Instagram reels out of it, or TikToks or YouTube Shorts. I do that in DaVinci Resolve. There's just it can be done in both. It's just that I'm in the middle of learning DaVinci Resolve, so I try to use it as much as I can when doing different things like that. But I never steer that far away from Camtasia, because I always tend to come back to it when I want to do something quickly and easily, if that makes sense. But there's a lot in DaVinci Resolve I have not gotten into. And can my computer even handle? Let's just to show you quickly what it looks like. I'm just going to launch that here. There's a lot in DaVinci Resolve, like color grading, for instance. That's a whole nother ball of wax. I mean, you can get into all sorts of different things when it comes to color grading. You have so much. I mean, people in Hollywood who are making feature films use DaVinci Resolve's color grading tools. They're that good. That's kind of where DaVinci Resolve's background comes from, is my understanding, is the film world and color grading world. There's so many different things you can do with that. So, but I haven't gotten into that. I've done a few things here and there with the color grading, but for the most part, I don't do much of that. Like my camera, I typically have it set on no profile, just the standard out of the box. I think it looks fine as it is, just like that. Just add a little bit of color in the back of my video with I've got a blue light up there, and as long as your lighting is good in your room, a decent camera will give you a decent shot. So I haven't done a whole lot with the color grading. I'd like to learn more as I get into it, but just as a very quick thing here, this is, let me just turn this off. This is DaVinci Resolve opened on a project. And this is the Canva video tutorial that I made. YouTube video, sorry. This is the YouTube video for Canva that I made less than a week ago, or about a week ago. And it still has a timeline, just like Camtasia does. It's a little more complicated, a lot more things going on here. You've got your audio mixer over here. You've got your inspector, it's called, up here. This is very similar to Camtasia, where you have the properties window up here. I have Camtasia open right here. So yeah, if you select something here in Camtasia, you'll have your properties window up here. You've got your timeline down along the bottom, and then you've got your clips and your media bin up here. Whereas on DaVinci Resolve, very similar. You've got your clips and your media bin up here, and you can create folders and whatnot for them. you have all your effects and whatnot here, different video transitions and audio transitions and titles, all kinds of like different effects. There's and a little favorites area here for types of things that you put on your timeline more often, or that you use all the time. You can set them up as favorites. So, I mean, it's similar, but it's definitely different. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. Generally speaking, you've got, so here there's, you can see my timeline got bigger here. This is this is a little ad I made within that video talking about the book that I have. Incidentally, if anybody wants a free copy of this little guide that I made, calling it a book is a bit rich. It's not even 40 pages long, but you can download a copy of that if you go to my website for free. But anyways, yeah, I dropped that ad in the middle of it, so that's why there's a little bit more going on the timeline here. But then other than that, if I just zoom in to any place here, you've got, so green here is your voice tracks, and they do separate the voice tracks from the video and text tracks. And so I didn't have a music track on this, but I have, like, this one would be my voiceover track. Then these are all basically sound effects. Actually, this was, I had music playing during that ad. That's what that was.
For you. Introducing my newly updated.
Right, that was music there. But these, I added some transition effects.
Maybe all you need. Next,
and sound
choose whether
effects.
you want to log in with one of your.
If you can tell that every time I zoomed in, I added this little sound effect right there. Fireball burst, ES. That stands for epidemic sound. That's where I get my my sound effects and my music from. So yeah, that's it. That's not it. I mean, there's a lot to it, as you could probably tell. That's DaVinci Resolve. So yeah, the journey is ongoing, but I plan for it to keep on going, if that helps. Okay. So yeah, anyways, Adam, I hope that answered your question. If you have any other questions about DaVinci, let me know. Or if you want to see any video tutorials on DaVinci, I haven't done any yet. But the whole point of this channel is I want to make videos that will help you learn how to do what I do. I mean, I love what I do. This is my job. I'm a freelancer. I get most of my work through Fiverr. The gigs that I post there, they're video editing type gigs, video tutorials, voiceover, subtitling of videos. All these are different things that I can do in video editing software like DaVinci Resolve or Camtasia. And for the voiceovers, Adobe Audition. So anything you guys want to know about anything that I'm doing here, any of the software that I use, any of the hardware that I use and the things that I have set up. I got a lot going on here, more than I need to have going on, but I think this is cool stuff. So anyways, just let me know in the comments below or in the chat, and your comments and your chat comments will basically, they're my instructions for what I'm going to create next. So I will create whatever you want me to. Let me go back here. BTA Info says, nice, sir. Thanks for your time. It's my pleasure you replied me. No problem. No problem. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask and I'll answer them. Adam Roll says, I am really interested in learning more about creating video tutorials for businesses like you do. Hearing more about freelancing would be great too. Awesome. Then you're in the right place because that's my plan. The business side of it is, again, for me, I use Fiverr. Upwork is another great place you can go to advertise what you do and to get work as a video editor. But I guess my advice would be to just start, even if you don't have a job yet, like even if you don't have a project to do for a client, open up this software and just start playing around with it. Just start making videos for yourself that you enjoy, and you will learn the software by doing that. So that would be some advice I would have in getting into this. But yeah, any other questions that you have about any of that, just ask away and I'll be glad to help. Adam says, Rob helped me get started on Fiverr about 1.5 years ago. He's amazing and I refer clients to him all of the time when I'm too busy. I owe a lot to Rob and his insights back then. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that. And yes, I do get some referrals from you. That's awesome and much appreciated. Thank you very much. And I'm glad to hear that things are going well for you on Fiverr. It really is. It can be frustrating for some. Some people have a different experience on Fiverr than others. You have to. My experience. So I've been successful as well on Fiverr, and when I started, it didn't happen quickly right away. So it took some time, and I had to be patient. When you first start off on a platform like that, you can't really kind of set it and forget it, if that makes sense. You have to work at it. So that might be like if you create a gig on Fiverr and then you find that orders aren't rolling in. Well, there are some things you can do. But for instance, what's the best way to I mean, there's all kinds of things I can talk about here. Again, I wrote a book about this, or a guide. It's a 10-step guide on how to get started with Fiverr. And if I just bear with me 1 second here, I'm going to pull this up and put it over here. How's that? How's that for? That's what I can use these windows for. There we go. So that's what it looks like. This is what you, if you go to my website, robthemaritimer.com, and if you enter your email address and your name, and then you can click to get a free copy of this. Be my guest and go for it. It's a book that I wrote. I first wrote that over a year ago, at the end of 2021, I believe. But then I didn't really do much with it. I offered it in a couple of my live streams before I had a form properly set up. But then at the start of last year, I rewrote it and just kind of brought it up to date. And that'll give you an idea of what's. Actually, you probably can't see that. There you go. That'll give you an idea of what's in it. So it'll take you through my tips and tricks about how to use Fiverr and how to turn it into a business. So give that a download, and that might help you. But as far as so you could also buy this on Amazon if you want to put it on Amazon, but there's no reason to unless you wanted to support the channel. That's really the only reason it's there. If you wanted a hard copy of it, that is it. So again, it's not very big, but it has a lot of good information in it. It has my story in it, how I went through it, and the tips and tricks that I learned along the way. So again, there are things you can do. Adam, as you've probably learned, you have to tweak your gigs every so often. I actually haven't tweaked mine in quite some time. I've been meaning to update my gig videos. Very important to have a gig video, I believe. I also believe it's very important to have your face shown to your clients. People tend to connect more with a person than, say, an avatar or a random image. So take some time to set up your Fiverr account properly, create a gig video, and good luck with it. And I'm glad to hear that things are going well for you, Adam. That's awesome to hear. Next up, Adam Roll says, Adam, yes, this is great information. I am learning so I can freelance when I retire in a year or so. Awesome. That's a great plan to have. Retiring these days, I think, is a little bit different than what it was to our parents' generation, for instance. I don't know if I ever plan to retire and not do anything. So I always feel like, I enjoy what I do. So I'm going to keep learning this stuff and keep at it. as long as I'm enjoying it. So, and if I can make some income at the same time, bonus. And some people make fantastic incomes. I mean, you could make well over six figures as a video editor, as a freelance video editor, just through Fiverr. There are people making multiple six figures. I mean, copywriting is another big one. If you're a good writer, now I know AI might be cutting into some of this for some people, but not really. If you're a good copywriter, I think you can outright AI, or you could use AI to help you, but I don't think people can use AI solely to create compelling copy, ads, sales, marketing ads, things like that. So, but yeah, I read there was this one woman who out of New York, I think, her name escapes me right now, but she also has a YouTube channel, and I think she has said she's made $350,000 US dollars a year. So through Fiverr, just through Fiverr. So that's one example. There's video editors that make that much. There's so many things. There's so many things, and the sky really is the limit. But you have to put the work in. I mean, I don't think she's sitting at home just collecting $350,000 and not doing anything for it. She's working damn hard, and she probably has a team of people that also help her when she can't do it all by herself. So you do have to, with anything, the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. So, but yeah, there's definitely opportunity through Fiverr. So yes, let's, what is next? Adam Roll says, I would pay dollars for a course if you ever create one. Awesome. Thank you. That's great. It's hard. I would love to create a course because I'm going to see how this goes first, these live streams and creating videos for YouTube. But I'm not going to lie, that is intriguing and is part of the reason why to get this book, you have to enter an email address. As with anything, that's kind of the way things work these days. But yeah, I do have a mailing list that I'm going to start to grow. I have nothing to send you yet, so I will tell you, anybody watching, if you do click to get this book, you have to enter your email address to do that. And again, you would go to the website. Let me just. It's actually not bad having this screen right on the screen here. So there, that is the website that I created earlier this year. So yeah, you just come to this website, enter your name and your email address here, click send, and you will get an email to you and automatically, and in that email will be a link where you can click to go download the free copy that I was just showing you, right behind here. This here, free copy. That's an automatic email. I have no other email set up to be sent out to people who do this yet. So I'm just at the beginning stage of creating the mailing list. Eventually, I will probably have some kind of a funnel thing designed and there's going to be more things that I'm going to offer. You mentioned it'd be nice to have a course that you can buy that teaches you all these things. Well, the next steps will be to create little guides. So this was a 30, 35 or 38 page guide on Fiverr that took some time to write. But I'm going to create maybe a 1-page checklist of things to do when creating a video tutorial, for instance. That's one thing I could do. I mean, every little video that I create here for YouTube in itself could be a kind of a course, but they're free. Any checklists or downloadable ebooks or PDFs or anything like that I create, and I'm going to do that every so often, they're always going to be for free. But eventually, yes, I do plan on coming out with a course. I don't know exactly what on yet. Like, do I focus in on the voiceover stuff? Do I focus in on screen recordings? Do I focus in on selecting equipment? Or is it going to be everything? I'm not sure. It'll take shape over time. So, but I appreciate I have at least one potential customer waiting in the wings. That's awesome news. Adam Roll says, I'm getting the book and will opt in. Awesome. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps. Just my tips and tricks that I've learned with Fiverr. I started Fiverr at the end of 2019, and I was full-time at it by the end of 2020. It took some time. I think the first month I got a $30 order. The second month I got none. The third month might have been $150, and then it was like $700, and then it was $3,000. So it did kind of grow fairly quickly, and it grew from there monthly. But I was also very, very busy at that time. Then the game kind of changes. It turns into, well, crap. So like one of the things you want to do when you start with Fiverr is you need to not price your gigs fairly, if that makes sense. You need to price them cheaply. Unfortunately, that's what I think is the best way to start, because you need to start by getting an order or two or three. Okay? And really the best way to do that is to have, unless you have people who are ready to place an order from you, they're ready to buy, then you can send them a direct link to place an order. That will help your profile immensely. It's just getting those first few orders. Once you get the orders, and then you get good reviews from those clients who bought those orders from you, that's important too. Do a really good job. Like, go over and above what you think you have to do for these clients. I was going to say for these first clients, but for all your clients. But it's very important at the beginning, because you need to get 5-star reviews. Once you start getting those, then things can take off for you. A couple of different reasons. Number one, when people are searching for you on Fiverr, when they're searching for something like video editing, say, a bunch of gigs are going to pop up in the search, and people just tend to look at the ones that have 5-star reviews and a lot of reviews. Oh, this guy's got 1,000 5-star reviews. Let's see what he's offering. You know what I mean? So that's one way people will be more inclined to check out your gigs. If you have a lot of reviews and good reviews. Also, the algorithm. I mean, Fiverr is a search engine, just like YouTube is, just like Google is. And you have to learn the algorithm. There's no way. I don't mean cheat the algorithm. I mean, it used to be that people used to cheat Google's algorithm and learn hacks and back ways to get ranked higher in Google and all this stuff. Really, the best way. I mean, these search engines have all gotten so what's the word? Good. that they're smarter than that. If you can be authentic and authentically good at what you are offering, Fiverr will figure it out. And if you've got good reviews coming in and you're answering your messages quickly, you're delivering your orders on time, all those things go into showing you higher in Fiverr's search results. So anyways, I hope that helped. I've been live for an hour and a half, and I think my football game has started. So I might have to ditch out here. I think that is it. That is it for the questions. I come to the end of them. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. It was fun. This is what I like, these question and answer things. I tend to be a little more long-winded if I'm concerned with the number of questions coming in. Like, let's say it's quiet. Yesterday was quiet. There was 2 or 3 people in the chat, and I appreciated them very much. But when there's not as many people around, it can be hard to talk when you know you're not really talking to very many people. So at the beginning of this one today, I noticed there's more action in the chat, but fearing that it might stop, I tend to be a little bit long-winded sometimes, and I just naturally am a bit long-winded when I explain things sometimes. But as this channel grows and as more questions come in, I'm going to work at getting a little faster at delivering my answers if that helps. So anyways, Adam Roll says thanks again. Thank you, Adam, for all your questions. I hope I've been helpful. Francesco says thank you for today's stream. You're welcome. I look forward to doing another one. Next one I believe I am going to do will be Monday. So today is Thursday. So Monday, I don't know what the date's going to be. November something. 23, 24, 27, 27th, November 27th. And I'll aim for the same time. So 11 a.m. Eastern time, which is 12 p.m. noon my time on Monday. So until then, I will post a link to the live stream in advance, and I will actually try to go live with the starting soon screen about 15 minutes before noon, or before 11 a.m. Eastern, before I go live. And during that time, you can ask questions in the chat, and then when I launch it, I'll have questions to answer, and I may even have a topic already set in mind before we get there. So if there's anything you want to hear from me after this live stream is done, feel free to leave a comment down below in the comments. Leave your questions or suggestions on what you want me to cover in the comments below, and I will aim to do that. So again, that's it. Thank you, and I will see you next time.